Hi everyone, I'm Matt from Look Into Bitcoin, and today we're going to be looking at 3 reasons why we actually need Bitcoin. To do this, we'll be using a number of resources freely available on lookintobitcoin.com, your number one source for Bitcoin information. If you haven't already, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and then turn on notifications to ensure you're receiving all of our content as soon as it's released. So right now we're just on the Bitcoin active addresses chart, and I think this is a good place to start to actually see the Bitcoin network in use. We can see, while there is obviously some correlation to the underlying price of Bitcoin, even today we have 900,000 people using the Bitcoin network to send and receive Bitcoin from anywhere in the world. And this is a truly unique feature of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general. Unlike many traditional means of finance that may require physical visitations to a bank and that may only work during business hours, Bitcoin is a 24/7 network that provides no limitations on who or when it can be used, while providing censorship-free transactions. So what we're going to do is actually look at a number of external resources to try and gain some other insight that isn't necessarily based on on-chain data or market cycle charts. We can actually see statistics such as the amount of people around the world that currently don't have access to a bank account, which currently sits at around 1.7 billion, which is an absolutely enormous amount of the world that don't even have the very basic access to send and receive money. And while there are some solutions that are in place, such as wire transfers and the actual use of physical cash, as the global economy grows, globalization comes into effect, and generally technology advances, we need a better solution than what is currently in place. And the Bitcoin network is providing that to millions of people. Another interesting feature of Bitcoin is that it's not owned by any one individual or group. It was created by an anonymous founder called Satoshi Nakamoto and is now kept up and running by a number of developers who are constantly developing and evolving the Bitcoin network. This means that Bitcoin as a currency, as a network, can constantly improve, provide new functionality and features such as private transactions, for example, or there's Lightning Network development, which is what is called a layer 2 solution to provide almost infinitely scalable and cheap transactions. So Bitcoin, unlike many traditional means of finance and stores of value, is constantly evolving and improving upon itself. And along with the huge amounts of open source development on the Bitcoin network, we can also see the amount of nodes which are securing the network. These are the amount of people verifying transactions on a minute-by-minute basis, currently sits at over 15,000. This is 15,000 independent individuals or groups that are spinning up nodes to secure the Bitcoin network and ensure there are no discrepancies between transactions, balances, etc., and can provide complete clarity on what Bitcoin's network is built on, known as the blockchain, as we see transactions coming through at every hour of the day. So unlike traditional finances, such as a bank, for example, which may have central server locations or security breaches, etc., Bitcoin isn't dependent on one single point of failure. It has over 15,000 points of failure. And along with this, we have a huge amount of computational power going in to secure the network. This is known as a hash rate. And this hash rate figure currently sits at around 235 million terahashes, which is trillions and trillions of hashes every single second securing the Bitcoin network. This is about the computational power and energy usage of a small country. So again, unlike most traditional means of finance, that could potentially be under threat, not only from physical bank robberies, but cybersecurity threats and international conflicts, regulations and legislation changes that are constantly evolving and potentially preventing people actual access and functionality to their money. What we can also see is Bitcoin as a store of value and medium of exchange provides functionality like no other. Right now, I'm just on the Bitcoin Network Explorer on blockchain.com, and I just pulled this transaction a few moments ago, and we can see here this transaction of 1,968 BTC, or about $36.7 million, was sent across the Bitcoin network for a total fee of 1,904 sats, which is about 36 cents. Now, there is nothing even close to that level of functionality that currently exists in the world. Imagine the logistics of trying to move nearly $37 million worth of gold across the world, never mind within only a few minutes and for a fraction of the cost. You also can keep your anonymity and send this transaction without any censorship. So just to summarize, Bitcoin provides a censorship-resistant medium of exchange, which in an era of growing authoritarianism and digitization of money, a truly free form of currency like BTC is required. Also, Bitcoin is a secure and open source decentralized network. It is a currency that is constantly evolving and is not controlled by any one group or individual. Bitcoin also provides functionality like no other store of value or asset. It is almost infinitely divisible while providing cheap and almost instant transactions while ensuring privacy and anonymity. If you like this video, then please visit lookintobitcoin.com, where you can also consider becoming a site subscriber to gain access to live chats, in-depth newsletters, indicator alerts, private trading view scripts, and more, all for a fraction of the standard industry price. Tell me why you got into cryptocurrencies to begin with. Why do you like Bitcoin, and what functionality does it provide to you personally, potentially outside of the potential gains for profit? Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.